Hello. Welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we'll learn how to make foam and spray particles in Blender fluid simulation. Let's get started the lecture. Let's add a cube object. Scale up the cube 1.5 times on the y-axis, and 1.3 on the x-axis. This cube will be fluid domain. Let's go to Physics Properties tab, click on the fluid, and choose the fluid type as domain. Switch the domain type to liquid. Hit the Z key and switch to wireframe mode. Let's add another cube object. Press numpad 3 and switch to right orthographic view. Scale down the cube on the y-axis. Move the cube to left side on the y-axis. Scale down the cube on the z-axis, and move down little bit. This will be our flow object. Let's add fluid property for it. Switch the fluid type to flow, and flow type to liquid. Flow behavior will be geometry. So, a liquid equal to the volume of the object will flow in. Now, let's add a couple of rocks so that the fluid hits. I will share the download link in the description. Download the rocks as Blender file. Import them into Blender with append method. Let's select two of them and delete the others. Scale down the rocks so that they fit inside the domain, and put them proper place. Select the rocks, press Ctrl J and join them together. The rocks will be collision objects for the fluid simulation. Click on the fluid, choose the fluid type as Effector. Effector type will be collision. Now, let's make domain settings. Select the domain, and set the domain resolution to 160. A higher resolution means more quality and thinner fluid. So, we need to set the resolution high as much as possible. But, it will take longer time to bake fluid simulation. If you have better graphic card and hardware, you can keep this value higher. So, you can get more realistic render. Now, scroll down to cache section, and set the cache type to modular. So, we will be able to bake all modules separately. Enable the resumable option. Let's set the simulation end frame to 100. Also set the render end frame to 100. Scroll up, and click on the Bake Data button. Baking process has done. Let's play the simulation. The fluid particles flow across, hit the rocks, and splash around. Let's scroll down the mesh section, enable the mesh option, and bake the fluid mesh. Baking process has done. Let's switch to solid view, and play the simulation. Right-click and make shade smooth the fluid mesh. We can also hide the flow object in viewport and render result. We don't need it anymore. It is time to bake spray and foam particles. Select the fluid mesh, and go to Particles section. Turn on the spray and foam, and click on the Bake button. After baking, we can see spray and foam particles. Now, let's make an object to represent these particles. Press Shift A and add a ecosphere. Set the subdivision level to 1. Move the ecosphere to left side, and scale it down enough. Let's add material now. Go to the Shading tab. Click on the New button and add new material for the ecosphere. Minimize the principled shader. Let's add transparent shader. We will mix both shaders, so add a mix shader. Let's add a Musgrave texture. Plug the height node to factor node of the mix shader. Set the scale value to 2 on the Musgrave texture. We need to add color ramp between them. Replace the black and white color. Black parts will be transparent. You can adjust with the color ramp how much opaque or transparent will be. Let's switch to render preview mode. I want to add HDRI image for lighting. Go to the World Properties tab, click on the color node, and choose Environment Texture. Click on the Open button, and choose the HDRI image you want to add. Adjust the transparent and opaque parts with color ramp. Set the strength value to 2. We can hide the image in Render Result. Click on the Render Properties tab, go to the Film section, and enable the Transparent option. Let's switch to wireframe mode. Press Shift D and duplicate the ecosphere. Scale down it little bit. Hit the double R key, and rotate it randomly. Let's repeat the same process 7 times. Move the ecospheres randomly. Select the All Ecospheres, right-click, and move to New Collection. Rename the collection as Spray and Foam. Switch to Solid View, and select the Fluid Mesh. Click on the Particle Properties tab, and select the spray particles. Go to Render section, and switch the render type to Collection. It will make slow down the computer. Select the collection we have just created. If we zoom in, we can see the spray particles. Enable the Pick Random option. Also, we can scale up or down the particle size in the Scale section. We can hide the spray particles in the viewport, so the computer will work more smoothly. Now, let's add foam particles in the same way. Hide the foam particles in the viewport also. Let's select the fluid mesh and add a new material. I will use cycles for rendering, because it is easy and more realistic to make water shading. But it will take longer time to render. Let's delete the principled shader, and add glass shader instead of it. Switch to render preview mode. Set the IOR value to 1.333 for water. We can make reflective material the rock's surface as if they are wet. Press Shift left arrow to go to frame 1. Select the rocks. Add a color ramp to control roughness value. Select the black color, and slide it to right side. Let's switch to solid view, and press spacebar to play the simulation. Stop the simulation when the wave hits the rocks. We cannot see foam and spray particles because we disable them in the viewport. But we can see them at render result. Firstly, we need a camera. Press Shift A and add a camera. Then, determine a perspective in the viewport. Press Ctrl Alt Numpad 0, and align the camera to view. For quicker render, click on Output Properties tab, and set the resolution 720 pixel. Also, go to Render Properties tab, and set the maximum samples value to 20. Go to Render menu, and Render Image. There we go. We can see foam and spray particles in render result. Now, let's video render. Click on the Output Properties tab, scroll down to Output section. Let's determine a folder you want to save the video. Switch the file format to MPEG, and choose the MPEG-4 as container. Go to Render menu, and Render Animation. Thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial.